In 1908, two scientists named Humphrey and Davenport conducted a disturbing experiment. They took two identical plants, same type, same size, planted in the exact same soil. They watered both with the same amount of water, at the exact same time, under the same light. The only difference? One of them received words of love and gratitude every single day. The other received words of anger, hatred, and rejection. Within 30 days, the plant that received the negative words withered and died. The other flourished. Now answer me this. If words can affect a plant, what are they doing to your mind every single day? Jesus knew this 2,000 years ago, not as a scientific experiment, but as a spiritual truth. In Mark 11:23, he said something that most people read but never truly understand. Truly, I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, "Go, throw yourself into the sea," and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them. Most people hear this and think it's just a metaphor, a beautiful phrase, but it isn't. Jesus was describing with absolute precision how the human mind works. The mountain is not a rock. The mountain is your problem. It's your debt. It's your fear. It's your addiction. It's that broken relationship. And he said, the way to move this mountain begins with what you speak, and most importantly, with what you believe in your heart. Today, neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity. It is the brain's ability to reorganize itself based on the thoughts you repeat. Every thought you have creates a neural connection. The more you repeat that thought, the stronger that connection becomes. It's like a trail in the forest. The more you walk on it, the wider and clearer it gets. If you spend years repeating, "I'm not capable," "I'll never make it," or "I don't deserve this," your brain literally builds highways to failure. But what happens when you start repeating the opposite? Your brain begins to construct entirely new roads. Jesus called this the renewal of the mind. The Apostle Paul in Romans 12:2 wrote, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." That word transformed in the original Greek is metamorpho, the very root of the word metamorphosis. He wasn't asking for a superficial change. He was describing a complete transformation from the inside out that begins strictly in the mind. But here is the point that almost no one talks about. Jesus didn't just teach theory, he demonstrated it. Remember the woman who suffered from a hemorrhage for 12 years? She didn't even speak to Jesus. She wasn't even close to him. She just thought to herself, "If I only touch his cloak, I will be healed." And she was. Jesus turned and said, "Your faith has healed you." It wasn't his power alone that cured her. It was her faith. It was the absolute conviction of her mind. It was what she believed so deeply that her physical body had no choice but to respond. This isn't mysticism. This is the power of the mind, operating through faith. Today, science studies the placebo effect and still cannot fully explain why people heal simply because they believe they will. Jesus explained it 2,000 years ago in one simple truth. Your faith has healed you. Jesus showed us that true transformation does not happen by changing our external circumstances, but by altering the frequency of our inner thoughts. To live this out today, we must first become fierce guardians of our own vocabulary. Every word that crosses your lips is a thought spoken aloud. And those thoughts are actively pouring the concrete for the highways of your future. You cannot speak defeat and expect to live a victorious life. It requires you to look directly at the mountain standing in your path. Whether it is an overwhelming debt, a crippling fear, or a toxic pattern of self-doubt, and refuse to let them dominate your inner narrative. Instead of constantly describing how big your mountain is, you must start declaring how powerful your faith is. This daily renewal is not about waiting for a sudden shift in your feelings. It is about choosing to act on the truth before your physical eyes can see it. Jesus flipped the human logic upside down. The world tells you to see first, and then you will believe. But the law of the Spirit declares that you must believe first, and only then will you see. When you align your deepest convictions with the promises of the Creator, your brain begins to rebuild itself. Your body responds, and the obstacles that once seemed permanent begin to fracture. This is the very essence of practical faith. It is not a passive religion. It is a deliberate, day-to-day shifting of your mindset. Before you leave today, I want you to do one vital thing. Take a moment of honesty and look within. In the comments below, write down what your mountain is. Name the exact mental obstacle, the anxiety, or the struggle you are facing right now. There is absolute power in bringing these things into the light, and you do not have to carry them alone. This is a community of strength, a safe space for growth. Let us acknowledge these mountains together, knowing that they are not too big to be moved. Until our next lesson, keep guarding your mind and walk with deep purpose.